Then it is also very important that we comb its hair now. If it is the head hair, it is the hair on my side. The hair on this side of the head grows up. This side is going in two directions. So we shed hair according to this shape. This is going to the middle. This is going both ways. This is going to the other side. This is where it is near the bottom. The elbow joint is lifted, and this half is also to the outside. It's the other way around. They are all lined up on both sides of the center surface in the middle. Then at this time, there is hair discharge on a part of the mouth. This is also the middle and the lower sides. It's combing in both directions. Then now the inner corner of the eye to the inner corner of the eye has been cut. So now I'm going to put the hair on the bridge of the nose. It's going up. It goes up like this because now its hair is very long. I completely blocked my eyes. So I'm going to cut off the inner corner of the eye, which is a flat surface above the inner corner of the eye. Now, good. Then this hair is flat. That is the inner corner of the eye to the inner corner of the eye. It's a flat surface. I'm not going to cut the sides right now. And I'm going to make it very flat. One such plane that is horizontal to my desktop. Okay, after cutting this, you come in from the outside. Then the inner corner of the eye to the inner part of the outer corner of the eye. I cut it a bevel. It's like this on both sides. After cutting a bevel, only then can I see if my plane is cut. Well, then it's this hair on the forehead. It's also here about a third of the way from the tip of our forehead to the tip of our nose. So I'm going to cut it off. Cut into a vertical face effect from the bridge of the nose. After cutting, it comes in at a 45-degree angle from these scissors. Make that inside ramp for it. Okay, after doing this, you can look at this angle of his side from the side. So now we've got the upper part of the forehead, the upper part of the nose. So let's start with this line of his chin first. The same is our peanut head, and the headpiece should be bigger. The chin should be smaller. Then I will first determine the width of his mouth and the width of the top of his head. The chin is basically shorter because what we cut today is in the shape of a peanut head. So it will be very, very short because short chin is an important feature of the cute family. It looks cute. Don't cut all the hair on both sides of the ears. Cut to the bottom. We need to leave some hair as a decorative effect. So the hair in this place can only be cut to half of the last part. Don't cut it all. Cut to the bottom. Cut off the bottom. The result is that the hair is gone. Be sure to keep this small tassel on either side for its ears. This hair must be kept. The next step is to cut the outer corner of the eye out of the corner of the eye. It's just where the line is outside the corner of the eye. Then when we want to trim, we can expand it a little bit. In this case, when we round it, we will cut the back. It will be just right. Depth is the depth of the cut. Where is it? It's the outside of the inner corner of the eye. This place is called deep. Okay, finish cutting this side. Look from the front. I moved out the in and outer corners of my eyes a little bit because when we're going to trim later, it may also be less hairy. So don't cut your mouth too small. It's this depth. The depth is on the outside of the inner corner of the eye. Okay, let's take a look at two straight ahead. Adjust this width on both sides, and then it's 90 degrees on both sides. Is it going to be exactly the same? Okay, so it's his now. 两侧. Because the vertical line will be cut in a while.
Cut off more hair than the nose.
Well, like here, for example, I'm going to give it a lift, may have to be cut off, because if you don't cut it, it will fall off. So this is the shape I'm going to cut. Then I'm going to cut off the bottom of it.
I might have to lift this a bit.
The scissors should be dug in a little bit. The one that appears is deep inside and shallow outside. This feeling, after this bevel is done, this is Terra from this point to this point. Then when I want to do this side, it is pulled here according to this shape.
It should be the same height. Because of this, after you tilt it up, its fur won't fall down.
Okay, that's the innermost row of hairs for it. Now, this part of the chin is a flat surface. So now the basic outline is done. Then we round it according to this shape. Okay, so that means this produces one face, two faces, three faces, four faces, five faces. But there is an edge between each face. Then we're going to trim up all the edges and corners of the lower side. Okay.
The second edge and corner are rounded all the way down according to this shape.
This is the angular part of its surface. Where are my scissors? It also leans in, it goes diagonally. Modify all the edges and corners on the inside. What about real dogs? So what are our steps? It is usually done with dental scissors. Okay, now go cut a circle of his lip liner. After cutting the lip line, the hair on the chin should be slightly shorter than the top of it. There is a real feeling. Okay, and this, what about this place in the future? I'm going to start sloping it from the inner corner to the outer corner of the eye, because it is a circle. When you're done with the lower semicircle, you make the upper semicircle. This is the place where we cut the plane at the beginning that goes from the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner of the eye. I need to make a slope of about 15 degrees. As long as we look at each other at a flat angle to his glasses, then don't be blind to that. It is enough to see his eyes, then to the innermost. My scissors must be tilted in again. In this way, my eyes will be completely clean in the future. Otherwise, the hair inside it will warp up. Yeah, it's exactly the same here. Model boxing practice on both sides. That is, we're going to practice. Our left slope is 15 degrees. The one on our right also takes 15 degrees. Exactly the same. Okay, go to the innermost. The tilt of the scissors also produces three sides, two edges and corners. You can decorate it with all the edges and corners. After doing this, we're going to start trimming it. This is the head section in the peanut head shape. It's us from this cheek of ours. This place, this is going up the slope here. The angle of the scissors is towards the corner of the eye. The outer corner of the eye is tilted above after going up diagonally over the eyes. Our scissors began to stand in. Our heads are a little wider than our mouths. Then we have to determine the width of his head. There it is. It's the sloping surface. After reaching above the eyes, we start off straight. Then I will gently roll the hair here. When the whole ear ends, tilt the scissors inside. A bit like our ram look. Then the ears, the whole ear, we separate out like this. Okay, it's tilted 45 degrees up here, directly overhead. It's 90 degrees on this one. It's 45 degrees. Then this is also a 45-degree angle. In the same way, I'm going to type this half as well.
from the outside of the eye. The line is the outside of the face. It reaches into the corner of the eye. After passing his eyes, my scissors began to move up. Then cut a vertical one above the ear. This noodle is bred inside. Okay, after doing this, we just start doing it 45 degrees above it. Then 45 degrees below. Then I'm going to determine the top of his head and behind his ears. The back of the ear should be the same on both sides. Ears and neck. The neck part must be very clear. Both sides should be equally symmetrical. Okay, after doing this, let's go to the top of his head again. Set at the top of your head. Okay, then what? It's 90 degrees. So this is a 45-degree slope because I want to slowly go from 90 degrees to the circle, the plane overhead. Come around here to, this is also one of 45 to 90 degrees. After doing this, flip back again. This is his occipital bone. Also, from avoiding the top of his head, 45 degrees occipital. And then what about his neck? After that, all his big shapes came out. So we're going to refine now. Just make the base of the ear first. For example, this is the bottom of his ear. Then slowly circle from here. Our ear hair still needs to be cut carefully. The hair on his ears cannot exceed his nose. Just this piece of fluff on the mouth. Then the ear makes him feel very explosive, which is the best feeling. So what about his piece? We can make a bevel, and this piece here is shorter than this piece here. Then his ears can just be propped up in the future. We're going to round his ears. When making ears, you must follow the direction of hair growth. After this upper is done, our ears are like that. It's very three-dimensional. I want the hair of this section. If it's too long, you can also cut it out like this. If you cut it regularly, it's this place. The level of the square is made. It won't collapse. Okay, do it the same way over there.